Man, shocking, isn't it? Wow, to be alive today. Shocking how people are being treated, how government officials are treating children, isn't it? Shocking. I'm not just speaking of the immigrant children either. Yep, good money is made, basically. Kanye West says, you can't tell me nothing. and I'm going the wrong thing. And this is what this is all about. Today we are here uh, dealing with official things. Yes? It's because this is official. Our lives. We're hovering. Okay, since I'm speaking that language, oh, we're hovering. Oh, here it goes again, being all aesthetic and, all out there. But where's the proof? You can holler you hovering all you want, right? Yeah. So what you out in space? Blam, you can see things. Yes, okay, I'm here. I'm literally enjoying this moving around and stuff. So I can see myself doing different things, acting different ways. uh, Calling out the plays. So we're hovering, yes, I say we're hovering, the pressure spit us out. Okay, we know that. Uh, Layers upon layers. So where's the proof, Mr. Hoover? Viewed panoramic behavior, a term that I was like to use. You see the big picture of everything. So the children, and I know our children have been treated like this for centuries, for a long time in this country. Prison industrial complex in this country. African American children and people and men in general, poor people, are the people who are incarcerated. Okay, so shock was already laid in place there. So now we have everyone's attention. All children are being who aren't so-called white children, pink children, or children of color. So now the universe has your attention. Okay, so let's lift this situation up to be, since we're speaking really great as we all this, we care about the children. Odd as it may sound, these things I'm about to say, answers have to come out from somewhere to do something. And this is an agricultural society, and those are agricultural people. When Africans who were enslaved in this country were picking cotton, people of color, out in the hot sun, Eli Whitney came up with the cotton gin, to help his fellow human being out. George Washington Carver did the very same thing to help his fellow human being out under such a deplorable, shocking conditions. You see? So this is what I'm saying to you all. Instead of just being just totally shocked and stalled at that point, it can only say, oh my God, and give names and how deplorable it is. Let's see if an answer is in there, because the universe teaches us in everything that we see, hear, and do. So that there has to be a lesson, something to climb out of this. There has to be, yes? So agricultural people that these Mexicans are, since we already say that they do all our agricultural things, and I remember the man that mentioned, remember the guy said the Mexicans are going to rebuild Louisiana and all that because they do all that kind of work and all that. Since we think they do the roofing and the building and all of that, I have a simple solution. That area in the desert, we all know about Dubai. Yes, they built a city, a magnificent city in the desert by first laying a foundation by going beyond the sand to the limestone, blam, reaching that point. The sand is only so deep, so they had to go a little deeper. Okay, go a little deeper in your appraisals of yourself and of this earth, what it really means, if you really are who you say you are. So they did that because they're saying people they built, just like the lady I talked about built that hotel in Miami with the exoskeleton like a scorpion and using nature's design. So I'm going to use nature's design in this as well with the wall and the Mexicans and the people. They're human beings. So I'm going to deal with that. And that wall, let's flatten that wall. Just lay it flat. If you see how tall it may be, how long it be, let's just flatten the wall to the ground, to the U.S. side. Okay, we'll flatten it out. Yes. And let's look at the numbers: 25 or 30 million dollars. He said he needed for that. Okay, let's think 25 or 30 million dollars. Look how many agricultural advances you can make sustainably right now in that area. Okay, if we're looking at it in that way, instead of just trying to keep the people out, and the people are coming due to deplorable conditions in their country, and we really want to do business with them because we're truly communicating with them 24/7 all the time because our country's only divided, just by a road. So the communication should be better than this, yes? So you lay that out with a foundation of knowing you've built Dubai, yes? But that's on a different level. So this is kind of like a poor man's, LeBron James type of situation. You want to let's say I'm using Arkansas. And again, with the manure that they're spraying all over the place, that is naturally too much for the amount of animals that they're spraying for such a small area. The train was invented by a brother here in Arkansas. So ship some of the train manure out to the desert, spray it out there, spray it out really good, cover a layer or two with some sand, put some topsoil on top of that. As far as you would have made that fence, since it's flat now, the wall is flat now, you can agriculturally build from the ground up a city where people can come up on themselves, building like that. And right now, there's this tiny house revolution that's going on, tiny homes. Since they do know how to build and they can have enough material, so okay, we don't give you this to build big old nice homes, but just enough where you all can build you a nice home to lay your head, and of course sanitation will be taken care of. But in that $30 million, they can build a tent city or tiny home city right there in the U.S. and build up an economic base through that if they're already a agricultural people and they're on the run and their lives in danger. So this will be a step up where they can build something for themselves. And how safe it would be is that the people will be able to be working, and the U.S. will be able to have federal funding to build, instead of having the cities that they have now in Africa, all over the world, where the conditions are deplorable, people just sitting there waiting for people to feed you and all of that. Let's take this to another level. Let's flatten that wall down and do some agricultural sustainability conversation that we've been talking about it with the community gardens and all that, all community gardens and shit. Well, let's actually build a community from the ground up, like they would do oil discovery when you discovered oil or something, or coal out in the desert, like they did with Las Vegas. All of a sudden, boom, some gold or whatever came up, and people start moving out there when you start building up. You see, and so I'm relating that like that for the immigrant people, because thousands of people have been found dead out there in the desert region, in areas, wherever it is that they're trying to cross. And I'm not talking about taking the land from people, but in the area of the desert where no one is living, where these people are crossing, there's a few miles before they get to the city limits. In between that area, that's the U.S., build that area up agriculturally, areas, so you don't have to use an agricultural area that you're already using in the cities, so you have to house them in the city and give them the results. But allow them to start as people in other so-called third world countries do, under those such living arrangements. Instead of just saying we're going to invest all this money and to keep them out, $30 million can sustainably build a city, build a morale of the people, so when they do come over, running from those situations to escape, then they could go right to work. And then only in a short period of time, what they've grown, earned, they can start making and selling those products. And they can be taxed in the city, so they won't have to be getting food stamps, Social Security, or whatever, taking jobs, whatever you all are saying. They could actually be taking an area that hasn't been used, that's ready to flower up right now. That's what the deserts are. Preservation areas, been preserved, because the cacti and the aloe vera and all those other succulents and plants that are drought tolerant grow out there. And there are lots of flowers as soon as the water hits. And water won't be a problem to get. There are many ways to get water in areas like that, and creation actually comes with that. Okay, so the people won't just be out there, left out there with nothing, because they say they sit out there for days at a time. But with this type of plan, looking at it, people will be able to actually invest in themselves in a barter type situation that is not intrusive in the minds or in the faces of the people of the United States, where they can say, oh, we're feeding them for free, they're doing this and doing that. But all actually, you will be able to see them doing what they naturally do, and they don't have to be traveling and all of that to keep jobs and do jobs and be under a threat at jobs in the cities where they take jobs and have to take menial jobs to be abused or taken advantage of, but to actually have an opportunity to build up where they live. And it's not a strange thing to do, because we're talking about right now how Israel said they're the capital in that country, and Hebrew is the official language. So, and just as I said, they gave Asians a lot of land here in Arkansas, in the Delta, for them to cultivate their culture, because they knew they grew rice, and they were a third world country, and those people needed help, and they basically gave it to them based on that criteria. This is the same type of criteria.